If you're a chosen one, the workplace often feels more like a war zone than a place to earn an income, right? Right. It feels like you are constantly in the trenches. You are constantly having people attack you from the moment, even sometimes at the job interview. And it often leaves you wondering, like, why did you even hire me? If this is all you're going to do, you're going to start immediately throwing my past in my face, bringing up past jobs, because as soon as you put in that application, they're on the phone talking to your past employers, and they're bitter and resentful, right? Because they abused you. They created a hostile work environment for you. They took advantage of you. They didn't see your worth until you finally walked away, and they're still mad about that, right? Even years later, they're still angry and bitter because when you walked away, it revealed who the real weakest links were, right? It wasn't you, but that's who they all ganged up on. That's who they all wanted to make out to be the bad guy. Was you, the chosen one. And do you know why? Because your anointing brings jealousy. Mm-hmm. That's right. They know, they can smell the success on you, and it gets under their skin so bad. They can't help but attack you. I mean, they're just waiting. They spend their mornings or their evenings in whatever shift you work. They spend hours prior to that getting together in their little Facebook group chats and planning out what they're going to say to trigger you and how they're going to get under your skin. And the second you're there to clock in, they're right there and they're just peppering you with abuse. They're just peppering you with harassment. They're bringing up the past, throwing it in your face, making little comments. They've talked to your past employers, they've talked to your past coworkers, they know what your triggers are. And this just follows you from every single job you go to, right? And it's just almost immediately. And it's like, if you hated me so bad, why did you even hire me? Because you know what? If you're an awakened chosen one, you're not putting up with that, right? There's only so much of that you're going to take before you're going to say, see ya. And that's, as I get older and get more experienced in life, uh, that is shorter and shorter. I've learned the hard way not to give employers or lovers or family or anything years. Stop giving away years because you'll never be appreciated until you leave. And then they're going to be mad that you left, right? Yeah, because now everybody knows who the real problem was. It was not you. Never was you. Never was going to be you. You were the solution. You were the answer. You were the person for the job. And they knew it. And they knew that they're frauds. They know that they got their jobs by lying and scheming and, stepping on other people. But you probably love your job. You probably feel a sense of rewarding. You probably look forward to going to work every day, right? And they don't. They're miserable. They feel like the world owes them something, right? And they shouldn't even have to work or go to a job and earn a living. They should just be given things, right? Because that's a narcissist for you. They feel like they're entitled and they're above everything else that everybody else has to do on a daily basis. You got to work to live, in one form or other. Which brings me to my next point, that if you're a chosen one, you should work for yourself. You should start an eBay business. You should start your YouTube channel, because you know what? You might not know it, but there's people out there that want to hear what you have to say. They want somebody. There's people struggling out there, other chosen ones who don't know who they are. In fact, that's how I found out I was a chosen one. No one ever told me that, and they're not going to tell you that. Nobody wants you to know that you're chosen. They want you to feel like you're crazy. They want you to feel like there's something wrong with you, and that's why people don't like you. When the truth is that they know that you're anointed. They know that you are predestined for success, that God has a mandate on your life, that no matter what you do, no matter how many wrenches people throw in your path, No matter how hard people try to make things for you, you're going to come out on top always, as long as you continue to hold your peace, right? And that pause. That pause is what God wants. He wants you, the devil wants you to react. The devil loves the reactions. He wants impulsive reactions and for you to just mess everything up, to react to something. That the devil will continue to knock on your door because he knows that there's something inside of you that he does not want other people to follow. He knows that you're a born leader. The devil knows that you have influence. So you have to pause. You have to grit and bear it sometimes and just ignore things. And though I know it's hard because I struggle with it too, but also know when to walk away, because there is a point where the cruelty is so much that you're disrespecting yourself by continuing to be in that situation. And that's what I've done at points. And it's always been after I've given 110%. I've tried every other, thing that I can think of, and there was no way that I could have been nicer to my coworkers, that I could have been, or the customers. And they'll get the customers involved in it too. If you work with the public, that's the worst. Those are the jobs that you want to avoid like the plague, because they all have their customers that they're their favorites, and they're going to get right in their head, and the customers are going to come, they're going to complain about you, they're going to lie about you, they're going to come and make their little backwards comments, and and they have no idea that they have no clue. They're not working there, but they definitely want to get involved. They definitely want to insert themselves in the drama because that's their favorite, that's their favorite person and whatever. But you have to understand that it's because you're a chosen one, and you can only take so much, and you should only take so much, because you have to have self-respect too. But it's a fine line to walk, right? Because you can't just keep letting people chase you from one job to the next, and or pull you back into jobs that you've already left because of what I'm talking about. They will try to make your job as hard as they possibly can, and then they'll get mad because a lot of the times it backfires, doesn't it? And they end up being the ones looking like a fool. When they're trying to make you look like a fool, they're trying to humiliate you, it often backfires. And what it does is it makes you stronger, it makes you more efficient, makes you faster, makes you smarter. And these people will never learn, will they? They'll never learn that they're making you better. They're making you famous, right? Because when they're talking about you, they're getting people above them and above their bosses, and to watch you and to see really what's going on here. And what they're seeing is an incredibly efficient, intelligent, hardworking, dedicated employee. And depending on who that person is, that might also make them threatened too. And that could be a good or a bad thing. That might end up with you getting called into HR and questioned, and then they start an investigation on you, right? That happened to me out of the blue, like, oh, we just want to check on you. Those are the same employers that they want me back. They continue to try to, mess things up for me with other employers, future jobs, and everything, because they realized quickly how bad they messed up. And you got to be heartless as a chosen one, you know what I mean? You got to be ruthless when it comes to your dignity and your self-respect, because when they've shown you that they don't see you as a human being that deserves to be treated the same way everybody else is treated, because you're not, right? You're singled out. And Though everybody has, some toxic coworkers, and basically everybody in this country or in this world right now is dealing with kind of a crappy work situation, right? But you know, because you have two eyes, you can see other people are not treated the same way. Other people are not crapped on the way that you are. They are not put through the same things you're put through. They don't have the goalpost constantly moved to where, it's you got to prove yourself, and then when you prove yourself, you got to prove yourself some more, and you got to prove yourself some more, and then some more, and then some more, and then some more. It's just an endless cycle where you're never ever ever treated like you're good enough until you leave, until you walk away, and then it's, oh, you left us. Now we're gonna try to ruin your life, and we'll try to close every other door of opportunity that comes along. You have to work for yourself, and that's my goal. And you should try. I know it's hard. A stable income is always beneficial, no matter what. But if you can find some way, buying and reselling clearance items, perhaps. Poshmark is a good one. eBay, DoorDash, Uber Eats, if you can sign up for those, but they have limited spots, so that, but get on the waiting list. Get on the waiting list, and keep that in the back of your mind, and just keep pressing through, because you're always going to end up on top. And no matter what people throw at you, because you're the chosen one, you're anointed, and people know it. They can smell it on you. They can smell that success. They can smell it. They know you're efficient. They know you're smart. They know you're hardworking. They know you're incredibly capable, and you can do anything you want. You really can. Because you are so smart. You are one of the chosen ones, and don't you forget it. Thanks for watching. Bye.